As moms, we often wonder, am I doing enough for my kids? I'm here to tell you, you are super mama. That's because we have an undeniable superpower, our intuition, and it never steers us wrong. I call it our mom sense. Hi, I'm Kanika Chadda Gupta, and I'm the host of That's Total Mom Sense. I'm a journalist, entrepreneur, wife, and mom of 3, twins plus 1. Now, if I had $1 every time I heard, gee, you have your hands full. On my podcast, I interview influential moms from various industries and cover topics that all first-time parents grapple with, from getting your baby to sleep to screen time allowance, your new normal in your marriage, and how to dedicate time to yourself. Learn and laugh along with That's Total Mom Sense. This episode has been sponsored by Podcorn. I launched That's Total Mom Sense on Mother's Day in 2019 and have been fortunate to have built a loyal following of mom and dad listeners since then. I recently started working with Podcorn, a platform for podcasters of all sizes to browse advertising opportunities, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without any exclusivities. I've landed several brand deals through Podcorn and want to pay it forward because that's what moms do. Visit podcorn.com, spelled PODCORN.com, to sign up and learn more. As moms, we learn to become expert multitaskers and masters of resourcefulness. So many of us make major life transitions after we have a baby and decide to launch our own businesses and become our own #mom bosses because we've found a new purpose in life. Whether it's a children's apparel line or novel product, launching a consultancy or service-driven agency, or becoming an influencer. Once you have your idea off the ground and establish a critical mass, the next phase is launching an event to connect with your audience. On this episode, we're going to talk about all things events and showcasing your product or brand on a larger scale. Today, I'm joined by veteran event producer Paige Goldstein. Rachel is a partner and executive vice president of Matter Unlimited, an event production veteran with over 25 years of experience. Rachel is a masterful facilitator and connector of people, using her diverse background and perspective as a New York City native to cultivate experiences and opportunities for her clients. In her former role as the founder and CEO of Agent of Change Events, Rachel inspired global change by producing live events that created impact by leading strategic buzz strategy campaigns that celebrated today's most influential voices. She curated dynamic panels and high-profile speaker engagements, as well as led influencer outreach campaigns for a variety of mission-driven clients, which have achieved over 1 billion social media imprints. The Agent of Change events reached over $70 million for various initiatives related to women's rights, veterans issues, political advocacy, peace initiatives, social justice, and the arts. Additionally, Rachel uses her 300-hour yoga certification and mindfulness certifications to create dynamic wellness event experiences. Rachel was a strategic advisor of the inaugural Women's March on Washington and is a senior advisor at the Milken Institute. She is the co-founder and executive producer of the annual Dot to Dot Summit, a movement to convene powerful young leaders to inspire and challenge their generation to take ownership and action. Rachel proudly sits on the advisory board of the Rise of Broken Women and the Holistic Life Foundation. Rachel, it is an honor to have you here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us what it was like growing up in New York.
Oh my God. Growing up in New York City was a very fast childhood. I first went to public school through 6th grade, and I went to a private school from 7 to 12. It's abnormal, but the normal to me, you know. I say that in that we were in the nightclub scene of New York City in our teens.
Right.
Like, I was always in events.
Yes, yeah.
I was always on a guest list.
Right.
Or I was always like, this was like my know-how.
Yeah.
And, you know, I look at other people who had a more, I want to say, balanced childhood. Because again, like what I was doing growing up in New York City is not what most teens are doing. You know,
Yeah.
It was just
they're getting dropped off to the mall.
Yes, I didn't know what a mall life was.
Yes,
never, not a clue. Like I was just like. It was wild.
Yes, yes, yeah. And I feel like, you know, that's something that I've noticed is so many New Yorkers, they know how to hustle, they're street smart, and they just mature at a younger age, right? You're just exposed so young.
Exactly.
Well, tell us about Agent of Change and, how you came up with the idea and built this empire truly.
So I studied Kabbalah many years ago, and I had a Kabbalah teacher named Ruth Rosenberg, who's still very much in my life and a blessing to us all. I don't study as much, but I absorbed it and I get it, and I definitely have my values and my senses from what I learned back. I actually studied Kabbalah in college, so coming years later, it all kind of came full circle for me as well. One time, Ruth, I had given her a book about wellness that I had just read, and I really followed everything to the T of this one diet program called the Rice Diet, which was a place that I had gone down to in North Carolina for a time that I took a break from New York City craziness, and I was hiking, and it was just like this beautiful, wonderful time in my life. And I gave Ruth this book, and she followed it as well. And she wrote me a note, and she was like, "You changed my life. You are my personal agent of change." And I was like, "You're my Kabbalah teacher. You're my agent of change." I was like, "But hold on." And the next day I LLC'd Agent of Change.
Oh my goodness.
And then a year later, Barack Obama kept calling everyone Agent of Change. And I'm like, stop it. You're using No, I'm kidding. I loved Barack Obama so much that he could say Agent of Change all he wants. And now it's so funny because of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, everyone's like, "Do you mind?" Because everyone calls me nickname AOC. I'll sign. So people are like, "Do you mind that she's taken your acronym?" And I was like, "Mind?" I'm like, all the power to her. Right, I was like, she could be AOC too. Yeah. I'll lend it out to her. She could do it.
Exactly.
So I have fun with that. So AOC and I can hang out.
Yes. I mean, amazing how that acronym and those words have manifested in your life in so many different ways. Okay, so you've been in the business for nearly a decade. You've hosted 112 events till date. You've raised $70 million in funding for your nonprofit clients. Is this a pinch me moment for you? Can you believe these staggering statistics that you built?
No. I can't believe it, but I do believe it. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been an amazing team. I've had the same core people working for me, working with me. I don't like to say for me. I've had the same core team working with me on and off for the last decade. It's when I started Agent of Change, I just wanted to produce events that made a difference. It's been such a ride for us, and we have not only produced over 112 events by now, I guess, but we provide the platform for fundraising to happen. So we've worked with the Bronx Children's Museum, which I'm from the Bronx. Actually, Riverdale was where I first grew up. And so that was a meaningful project. It's about education. It's about preservation of culture. So that was a really cool event that we had done with Kerry Washington, who was honored for 2 of the years that we did that event. Or when we produced the Headstrong Projects Gala, and they provide free health care for veterans when they come home from Iraq and Afghanistan or war in general, and saving the lives of our veterans. And I thought that was really amazing. Also, we worked a lot in the wellness world. So before I started Agent of Change, I worked for Donna Karen's foundation, Urban Zen, where I produced a few well-being summits, one specifically called the Wellbeing Forum. Back in 2007 we're going. But it was a 10-day well-being forum, and it had everyone from Dr. Oz, Dr. Mark Hyman, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Tony Robbins. I mean, it was a 10-day feat. Chris Carr. It was just unbelievable. Frank Littman and all these amazing wellness experts came out to speak about what's missing in hospitals and what can we do to help healthcare and the experience of the patients. And from that, Urban Zen had created something called the Urban Zen Integrative Therapy Program, where they treat patients with yoga, Reiki, contemplative care, nutrition, aromatherapy, all these things. And they did a scientific research project at Beth Israel Hospital with cancer patients, and it was amazing and very well received. Just to know that the ripple effect of these kind of programs were created from the events that I helped produce is a great feeling. And patients' lives are better because of that. And my network has gotten gotten so big from working on such big events. And I love curating panels, and I love curating conversations and content building and all that stuff. It's really satisfying me.
So now tell us about, the acquisition and how Agent of Change was acquired.
Last year, one of my clients offered me a job, and I was like really torn. It would have meant I would have moved to Los Angeles, which I was very open to. And I was talking to one of my friends, Rob Holzer, who had a company called Matter Unlimited. And I was like, what? You've sold your company? What do you do? What would you do? How does that work? Like, I've never done anything like this. I have like a few people in my life that I went to just for advice. Basically, Rob's like, come work for me. And listen, I had my own business for 9 years. I am very proud of the work we did, but raising a kid in New York City and the expenses thereof, I never had a paycheck. Right. I just took what I could get, what I made, and made every month work. I didn't have proper health insurance. Right. I had like the cheapest health insurance. I didn't have dental. I didn't have vision. I didn't have anything. And I'm sitting here paying for private school because I'm so wholeheartedly in love with the education that the school that my son goes to, because they teach him social and emotional learning opposed to just textbook. You know what I mean? And I searched all the public schools in New York City that were in our area, and I just, I didn't feel the pull. I didn't feel the energy that I wanted for my son. And also, being a single mom, I feel like a school that has 18 kids in a class with 3 teachers, and this is like a well-trained school platform that teaches all other teachers around the country. Like people go to this one school for the training, and I just feel like he's getting a lot more, and I'm paying for that. I also think that they're teaching his soul. Like the other day, I'll give an example of some of the mind-blowing things you get from a 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. So a friend of his was over for a play date, and her and her mom's a dear friend of mine, and I've never in her 6 years of life seen her cry. And all of a sudden, it was like a Friday night, we had Shabbat dinner, and the little girl was hysterical crying, like wailing, and I'm like her mom is so like composed, but doesn't tell her to say. She doesn't say shh. She just was like letting her have it out, right? Okay, because that's how she parents, and I totally respect it. Yeah. And so the little girl was just crying, and so my son Elijah goes into my room. I have a little meditation area in my bedroom, and gets my rain stick. Rain stick that made like when you turn it up and down, and it sounds like rain is falling.
Ooh, wow. That's amazing.
And like this, and if you turn it the other way, it's just totally meant for soothing. Goes in, gets my rain stick, like comes out, sits next to his friend who's hysterical crying, and just starts turning over the rain stick to calm her down.
Oh my God.
On his own. And I was like, me and my friend were looking at each other like, what did my Buddha just do? Yeah. like he knew it in his heart how to take care of his friend. Yeah. And that was just like, I'm doing something right. And yes, it may be me, but I love that you're in tears. Yeah. That's the sweetest thing. Like he gets things and that's important to me. Yeah.
To understand and have that emotional intelligence at age 5
exactly
is like phenomenal. Because he's only going to be that much more as an adult.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Of course. So sweet. So, many of the listeners have their own businesses or have an idea for a business. And event production is something that maybe sometimes people overlook, but it really does create a credibility around your brand. Mm-hmm. So tell us about why event production is important.
I think we produce live events and online events, right? Mostly live events, 99% live events. And I think there's something to say for meeting someone in person and having a like-minded issue or reason for being somewhere and making that connection in person. Like you can't replace it. I've met so many people along the way away at other people's events. I love being a guest.
Yeah.
I love being a guest.
Yes.
There's something about human connection that you can't get anywhere else. So you can't replace that. So if I can provide the event or the space or the conversation or the fundraising or whatever it is for people to connect, the ripple effect will only go forward.
Right.
And that's number one. As far as producing the events, it's all about logistics and coordination. I have something that I've actually trademarked called the Production Bible.
Okay.
And it's the A to Z of production. And it's, managing auctions, audio visual, budget, catering, design, decor, graphics, invitations. And I'm doing this alphabetically. But it's how I keep everything organized and sorted so every client can look at this Bible of sorts and refer to it, like what's happening in my event and the progress of doing it. And then at the end, we make one big report saying, here's the wrap, this is what you got. This is what our results are. This is what we could do better. These are the key points, key everything. And it's a system at this point, you know, and that's why not only do I do the events, but I also do behind the scenes influencer outreach campaigns where I have worked with so many celebrities and high profile people that if there's a mission, I worked with the Rockefeller Foundation last year on preventing maternal mortality around the world. So this was a campaign that they launched around Mother's Day last year. And so they hired me through Matter, actually, which was one of our first times working together. They hired me to just get, high profile people to tweet and post about it. 25 million views on their campaign in 1 week. And I single-handedly wrote 200 plus emails myself while I was in production of another event because I just couldn't not help.
Right.
Give me a cause to help and I will figure a way.
That is amazing.
I didn't sleep for so long. It's tough. But
it paid off. I mean, wow.
One of the tough things is that, having so many amazing clients and then choosing what not to take on. I just had to say no to something because I have 2 other events in the same week. And I was like, I am so sorry that I can't do this because I really wish I could. I really believe in what you're doing, but I can't spread myself that thin. I guess my goal with Matter Unlimited is that we could scale it and have teams of people doing that, but we're still young inside the world and we're just still getting things done. Right. So if I could look back on Agent of Change, it would have been the years of running my own business and projections and all that stuff. I never did that. I never wrote a business plan. I didn't. I just went to work.
Exactly. You just figured it out.
I just figured it out. I don't know if you know Marie Forleo and her B School. So I produced Marie's first 3 years of live events.
Wow.
And I was one of the big promoters of B School in the very beginning, but couldn't do it. She definitely helped shape me. A dear friend of mine to this day, which was emailing yesterday. And, women have power. And not just women, men too. And them, they have power because, you have to embrace all beliefs of everyone's identities these days.
Yes, absolutely. So for someone who has a homegrown, smaller brand, if they know they want to have some sort of event, what tips do you have as an expert and insider on how they can go about planning something like that?
Well, depending on the kind of event, find the right venue. Right. If you are limited on a budget, figure it out. Ask for donations.
Sponsors.
What are you looking for? Why are you having this event? What can a potential sponsor or brand get benefit from tying their brand to your name or to the reason of your event? Know your audience. Have your messaging out completely. What is it that you're trying to put out there? Make sure nowadays you have to have what your social media is going to look like if it's that kind of an event. Have the right catering. Someone just asked me, I just answered a blog for my company and they said, what are your sustainability tips? And I was like, always donate food to a homeless shelter. Always donate flowers to hospitals, right? Always be conscious of what people's potential diets are because everyone's on something these days.
Right.
Gluten-free, dairy-free,
vegan,
everything.
Yes. Oh, that's really great tips. So now tell us what your motherhood journey was like.
When I turned 40 years old, I was having a baby. It was a fact. Like if you met me when I was 37, 38, 39, oh, when I'm having a baby next year, like it was a fact of life.
Okay.
And I was blessed to get pregnant in my 40th year of life. I got my birthday wish, my Christmas wish, my Hanukkah wish. Every wish that I ever had was exactly as it should have been.
Wow.
And I remember when I was like 2 months pregnant, I saw his face. Like I knew, first of all, I knew he was a boy.
Okay.
It was 1 week of my 9 months of my pregnancy. I thought it was a girl.
Okay.
Otherwise, and I knew his name.
100%. Oh my gosh.
In the first second I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
Which was New Year's Day of that year, 2014.
So cool and very just ominous.
Yes, for sure. It's an eye-opener. I didn't have it easy the first year. It was really rough doing it on my own. I had experienced PTSD on levels that I never knew that could happen to somebody. No one talks about that as much as they should.
Right.
I had to go through hardcore like EMDR therapy. Like I had therapists. I mean, God bless. And it really kind of woke me up to being even more of a strong woman to handle the things that I did.
Yes.
But it was worth it because I guess kept having this little man at home who just wanted to love, and I wanted to love. And so, I breastfed for 18 months. I wish I never stopped.
Yes. I mean,
the only reason why I stopped breastfeeding was
you.
Because I was going on a trip to Israel, and it was the first time I was leaving him for 8 days. And I was a basket case that trip. I wish I didn't. I wish the people I met on that trip didn't meet me then, because I was just like, why am I here?
Right.
I've already been to Israel. Like, get me home.
Yeah, I want to be with your baby.
I just wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
And I only want to be with him.
Yeah.
He's just, it's such a love. It's
Yeah.
pure. It's pure as it gets.
I mean, I'm sitting with Rachel face to face, and I see her eyes light up when she talks about her son, Elijah. So, being a single mom is like umpteen times more challenging. What was your experience like, and, how have you grown from it?
I don't know anything different. Okay, so I've never been married. I do what I do because this is who I am.
And what advice do you have for moms and, single moms in particular?
It takes a village.
Yes. Yeah.
Know who's in your village. Right. Even those who started off with me and fell off because they thought that they were part of my village. It's okay. Whoever, know your top 5.
Yes.
Know them well.
Yeah, exactly.
I have been
Lean on them.
And
so when was a time where you trusted that mom sense of yours?
I think one of the biggest first decisions that I was truly, truly proud of was shifting from having a nanny to going to childcare.
Okay.
I was thinking about how Elijah, even as a little baby, he had his little friends who were going to be his friends for the rest of life. Mm-hmm. But the thought of him having one nanny that he was spending all day with and going to classes or whatever it is in New York City, everything gets so expensive. And I was paying such a huge amount of money. Yep. Again, as a single mom running her own company, she was another employee to me.
Right, exactly.
Who had that extra money?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so putting my son into a daycare, which was the most incredible daycare I could ever, it's called the Purple Circle Early Education Center.
Okay.
He went there 8:30 to 6 every day at 2, 3, and 4 years old.
Okay.
And people were like, you don't miss him? I was like, are you kidding? Of course I miss him. Like, I would love to spend every day with him. When other parents are like, you lost so much time with him when he was little. And I'm like, are you kidding? Yeah. Like, I put my son into the best, most caring, wonderful school center with the most loving people that they helped me raise him. Like, I'm very, very much in touch with the founder of that school, the director, the teachers. Like, I had one of his teachers babysit him the other night as a surprise. Like, he loved it. Like, I had no choice.
Yeah.
I went back to work after C-section 2 weeks later. I know.
Oh my God.
That's one thing I wish I could have had more time.
Right.
But I had no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no choice.
I mean, but that just is a testament to this inner strength and powerhouse that you are.
Yeah.
Because you just rise to the challenge and you do what you got to do.
Just do it.
Yeah. And there's no excuses. You just did it.
Yeah. I just did it.
Yeah. That's really, really incredible.
Let's not forget our quote of the day.
Is there a quote that you live by?
Nothing of value happens unless you take a leap into uncertainty. It is by Colette Abukar Muscat. Her quote has been on the bottom of my emails for 25 years since I've had email. There's another quote from my friend who sadly passed away 2 years ago, Naomi Friedman Rabkin. She died of breast cancer, and it was just really heartbreaking time for me. And she said, "Do what you love, and you will never work a day of your life." And it's true, right?
True.
If you love what you do, I went back to work 2 weeks after a C-section.
Right.
I went to work while my son is 2 years old
in a daycare.
in daycare. Like, I love what I do.
Exactly.
I don't know anything different.
Yes. Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. And you put your whole heart and soul into it, and he sees that too, and everyone around you sees that. And so you're definitely making an impact, and you live a life of purpose as you do it.
It's now time for Mom Haul, when we share products we love.
Is there any other kind of product that you're loving right now? It could be beauty, wellness, lifestyle, parenting related, anything.
I just yesterday received a package of bulletproof coffee products.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't drink coffee. I drink matcha tea, which is my favorite thing in the world. Chacha Matcha is 2 blocks away from here.
Oh, nice.
And I have to have one every day that I'm in this area.
Okay.
But I just sprayed something called Home Biotic all around the house. And I have to say the energy that I got from this Home Biotic, it's just like a spray probiotic that I was high from this stuff.
Wow.
High on life.
That's so cool.
So thank you, Dave Asprey, for creating this Home Biotic spray. I love those kind of things. But I'm also a huge fan of essential oils. Elijah may not love all the smells of them. However, I've had a rose signature oil that I've used from Young Living, as well as doTERRA has a beautiful, beautiful rose as well. Those are my 2 favorite companies for essential oils, which I was a distributor of as well on the side.
Yes, of course, because you need more things to do.
Sure.
So my Mom Haul product is Lark Adventures pajamas.
Okay.
So it's she's become a friend. Her name is Paula Vigola, who is the founder, and it's 100% cotton, organic cotton, really soft. I mean, you want a pair of onesies for yourself. They're that soft for kids. And then she has expanded into other lines, into 2 pieces and other apparel for kids. But yeah, I check it out.
For apparel for kids, a company I love, Anna Anderson.
No, I haven't.
Quality.
Oh, actually, yeah, she does pajamas too, right?
Pajamas
yes.
are amazing.
Yes,
just
yes,
quality
stuff.
Yeah. We just went snow tubing over the weekend, and I got Elijah a little snowsuit and everything. But the thermals are so great.
Nice.
But their clothes are wonderful, wonderful. I can order that
online. Yep. We'll link everything below.
Babo shampoo and conditioner.
Oh,
favorite.
Okay.
They have good stuff.
Nice.
And of course, Honest. But I still use the Babo stuff more than anything.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
being on the
me.
show today. You are a light. I mean, Rachel has this energy. I wish that you all could experience it. You can see how pure your heart is just speaking to you. And I'm so fortunate to have met you. Thank you.
I'm so honored.
Thanks for tuning in to my interview with Rachel Paige Goldstein. She is a force, isn't she? You can follow her and view her work on her website, rachelpaigegoldstein.com. And her Instagram is super easy as well. It's at Rachel Paige Goldstein. And we'll link all of that info in our show notes. I hope you learned why it's necessary to incorporate live events into your business. And it's always great to get tricks of the trade from an expert in the industry like her. Keep sending me your reviews on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, and Stitcher, and write to me. I love reading your messages. My email is thatstotalmomsense@gmail.com. And also you can send me a DM on Instagram at Kanika KANIKAXOXO. Remember, always trust your mom sense. Stay strong, super mamas. See you soon.
That's total mom sense.